have some fun. I mean, I'm in, the crazy office where what on earth is behind you on that shelf? The shelf. There's 3 shelves. Every time I go to full screen, I'm looking behind you. There's 3. What are those 3 things?
So one is an antique shuffler.
Show me the antique shuffler.
Yeah. So this is the antique shuffler. So
okay, all right, that's really cool. So just like you put the cards in and you just turn them.
Grab some cards. And, try to hold them down here. You're the first person that's ever asked me about this, Brandon.
Yeah, hey, listen, that's what I try to do. Antique shufflers on display. When you say antique, what kind of era are we talking about?
I want to say it's in the 40s.
Okay.
But, I would have to look that up. It's not a super rare item. They were really popular, so there's a lot of them out there. But this here, if I turn it, it'll shuffle it down here. I'm going to turn it because I'm not worried about the cards like falling. But am I turning it the wrong way? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
The wrong way. Yeah. So
so it's pulling cards in randomly.
Yeah. There's I'll do it this way.
Yep. Pulls one from one side, one from another side, but it's random. Like you can tell it wasn't a pattern. Got it. Okay.
So yeah, it has little rubber wheels on there that help the cards to collide that way.
That's awesome.
Cards everywhere in my office, but that's not unusual.
Okay.
And
all right.
then
what else we got back there?
This is an octopus. So it's kind of a funny.
There has to be a story with the octopus.
Yeah. So it's not one I could show you right now. We'd have to make my way through the house into my office where I have a painting of an octopus that I love. This painting, my wife got it for me, and I do my devotional usually around 4:00, 4:30 in the morning, and I'm sitting there doing a devotional. Maybe I've had the painting for like 4 or 5 months, and I look up at the painting and I start to count the legs on the octopus. I'm like, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's early in the morning. I'm like, okay, let me drink some more coffee. And then I count them again, 9. But they're all like intersected. I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I get up and I start counting them, 9. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, we bought the painting. It said octopus, and there's 9 legs. And so I look it up. It's actually called a nonopus. And so anyways, my brother ended up buying this for me because I was telling that story and we were just laughing. Like, it's one of those things where like you just wonder early in the morning, did you not drink enough coffee? Who puts 9 legs on an octopus? But
I think that everybody now knows that it's called a nanopus, and they stand corrected because I didn't know that off the top of my head that it was called a nanopus. I actually sitting here going in my head, it's like, what's a 9-legged one called? There are 9-legged ones.
Yeah.
They usually aren't full-size legs. I've seen that. Okay, all right. We have one more item on that shelf. I'm gonna make you do it. What's the other thing?
So these are just playing cards there.
Oh, okay. He's got backup cards.
And then this is just a book. It's it's not necessarily a favorite book. It's just the book I'm going through. It's a magic book, and it's.
We got an octopus story and the vintage cards collection. I'm good. That's good.
So it's just different books. I'll go through. I'll put them on that shelf, and actually 3 or 4 or 5 more over that way that are books that I'm reading through and navigating different ideas.
Do you just like dabble each different kinds of 4 or 5 books at a time, or you like read one? Or you sound like you're a dabbler. You kind of like to bounce around different things.
Yeah, definitely a dabbler when it comes to magic. So it's more. So for example, if I had an idea of, I'll just say like a 4-ace trick, right? Is I'm gonna grab every book I have and try to find every 4-ace trick and go, ooh, how can I combine these? Or, which one's better? Okay, I like this one. How can I mix those 2 together? And so that's kind of a constant journey for me. If I find an idea that I want to run with, I try to figure out what could complement that. And so, it's not uncommon to have like 30, 40 books out and try to find out what are the synergistic pieces that I could put together to combine.
As an art form, do you take notes and write this down? Is it like a note? So you have 4-ace trick, and you're kind of like making notes of ideas and brainstorming different notes. Okay. I'm trying to follow the process, because that was.
So like even now, like I have like
Look at this.
a new show I'm working
stuff.
on, and so these are like my ideas where I go, okay, I think these ideas are better than these ones. So I begin to brainstorm. But like with this one, El Nijo, it's a like torn and restored rope thing, and so but there's been a thousand of those effects over the years, and so I'll go find as many of those as I can. But right now it's just like structuring the idea of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get into actually developing the specific pieces, I'll try to go, what's never been done with this before, what would be completely different, whether that's a presentation angle or
Right.
whether that's like it's a rope trick, right? Could I use, a camera wire? Can I use a phone cord? Can I use, I'll start to like look through what are different things that might work better, that might be more interesting to develop than a rope trick. So yeah, that's the process.
In your research, and you have these, brainstorms, and
Yeah.
you're like, all right, I want to do rope trick or card trick. You get stumped. You get into one, you're like, oh man, this would be cool, but I can't work this. This isn't working for me. Like, I just get stuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I go, okay, this won't work for me. Like I'll take mentalism stuff. I love reading about mentalism, but all the mentalism I would say that I do is like far more like indirect, what I would call indirect mentalism, instead of like direct. Like I very rarely will say like, Brandon, like I could tell what you're thinking right now, and then, tell you. Like I would do it more like, with body language, or, so there's some pieces that I'll read and just go like, I can't figure out a way to make that work with my personality.
Right.
And, like how I want to present stuff. Because it's not a dark show. Like it's a real fun, like interactive show. And some pieces like lend itself to be a little bit more serious than I would be in my show. Yeah.
All right. And we can get more information over at DannyRayMagic.com. So we can do that. So